All right, Drew. So, all right, Drew. So I was in Richmond the last couple of days, right?
Hmm?
You know what really bothered me when I was up there
What's that?
is the way people pronounce Appalachian.
Oh
up
my
there.
God.
It makes me cringe. They're like, "Where are you from?" I'm like, "I'm from West Virginia." Oh, the Appalachian Mountains?
Mm-mm.
No, the Appalachian Mountains.
Nope, it ain't no damn Appalachian.
I
Pardon
hate
my
that.
French.
I hate that so much. That drove me insane while I was up there. And I never really paid attention to it, but it was like I probably heard that 30 times when I was up there. And I'm like, what am I, a mountain person? Do I give off that vibe?
Well,
Just a little bit.
I hear it a lot on like content.
Yeah.
Content that I watch. They're like the Appalachian Mountains. I'm like, you in the wrong place, my guy.
This is Appalachian.
Nope.
That's right, ain't it?
Mm-mm.
Anyways, welcome back to the basement where it's top level content from the lower level. Today we're going to dig into a case that make your head scratch a little bit as far as the verdict and the final court case goes. We're going to talk about the Atlanta child murders and a case that terrified an entire city and still leaves people arguing decades later. So what happened was between the years of 1979 and 1981, 28 black children, teenagers, and young adults were murdered in Atlanta, Georgia.
So, but there's some people that claim the number is higher than that.
It probably is because, I mean, a big city like that, you don't know what's connected, you don't know what's not connected.
Yep.
Early on, police struggled to connect these cases because most of the victims were mostly boys and many from poor neighborhoods. Kind of like what we've seen before in court and murder cases. We see that all the time where it's people they don't think is going to be missed. People don't think they have the resources to go out and search for them, and everything like that. So they struggled to connect these cases, like I said earlier. They struggled to connect them. They struggled to find evidence. They struggled to do anything, and it made it look like the police really wasn't doing anything, as with any ongoing investigation.
Yep.
So a lot of the families, they felt ignored. Community leaders accused law enforcement of not taking disappearance seriously enough. And what you got, Drew?
So parents stopped letting their kids walk alone, which kind of ties back to another episode that we've done. But schools' routines changed. Curfews were implemented in the city. But imagine being a kid during that time. Like, you're in a city like Atlanta.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And somebody else is popping up missing every day.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's crazy.
And, as bodies kept being discovered, panic spread across Atlanta. Public opinion was if that would have happened, and this is public opinion happened, if this happened in a white neighborhood, a rich white neighborhood, then people believed that the response would have been a lot different, and I could see that.
Yeah. I'm gonna say this, and I might catch some crap for this, but you let some stuff pop off in a rich neighborhood, they're gonna figure out what's going on.
Yeah, they are. They're gonna figure it out. Or at least we're predominantly poorer neighborhoods and minority. They probably, they were searching it, but people are gonna think, automatically public opinion goes to
You didn't try hard enough.
You're not trying hard enough. You're not looking hard enough.
Yeah, which that could have been.
So there was multiple theories. Was it one killer, multiple killers? Was it a hate group? And then someone connected to the community.
So the FBI gets involved. They form massive task force. And there was hundreds of officers on this case.
Yeah.
So Atlanta Metro PD probably has hundreds of officers.
I would imagine it's probably got
then you got the FBI getting involved. You got federal agents getting involved, they are federal agents, but like U.S. Marshals and that kind of thing. And they considered like multiple theories.
Yeah. So the police focused on one man, Mr. Wayne Williams. I'm sure everybody's heard that name before. He's been on on serial killers, documentaries and everything. So in 1981, police were surveying a bridge over Chattahoochee River, and because several victims have been found in that water there. One night, officers heard a loud splash. Moments later, they stopped a car leaving the bridge, obviously. Behind the wheel was Mr. Wayne Williams himself. A few days later, another victim's body was discovered downstream, and investigators searched Williams' home and car.
So that right there tells me that's about all you need.
Let's go ahead. Good evidence, right?
Yeah, let's go ahead and put this guy in some nice silver bracelets. You know what I mean?
Yep.
But the fiber evidence that they ended up finding become important. They claim that fibers from Williams' carpet and dog hairs matched evidence found on several of the victims.
Now think about how good an investigation has to be to link dog hair and carpet fiber.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That's insane.
That is.
That's really good police work right there. But that actually became the backbone of the prosecution's case. But here's where things get controversial. How many children, teenagers, you say was missing?
28.
28. You know how many people he was convicted of killing?
Okay.
1.
Wow.
No, 2. I'm sorry. 2 people. He was only convicted of ever killing 2 adult men, not the children.
Wow.
So that's when public opinion really started to shift. They said even authorities publicly linked him to most of the murders afterwards. Once Williams was arrested, many of the investigations basically stopped.
So essentially, I can understand why there was public outrage because essentially none of those boys ever got justice.
No, they didn't. None of them families ever got justice.
Yeah.
So there's probably families still out there today looking for answers, and they're just not getting them.
Yeah. So either tie this guy to all of them.
Yeah.
Which they had the fiber evidence. The dog hair, the carpet fiber. So, I mean, that right there, which, I mean, I know they can't go back and find that kind of DNA now, but there needs to be answers, you know. But the decision, like we said, it still angers the victims' families to this day.
Yeah. So Wayne Williams, let's talk a little bit about Wayne Williams. He was actually a music promoter and a freelance photographer. So what do we see in these serial killer cases? A normal person on the outside. But on the inside, a monster.
Yeah. And some families believe the police closed the cases too quickly. Others believe that Williams absolutely committed all of the murders.
Yeah.
Now, one reason for the doubt is that the victims varied in age and circumstances. So normally a serial killer has a type. They have victimology.
Right. Some victims were children. Some were adults. Some disappeared in very different ways. And critics argue that tried to pin on all the murders on one person oversimplified the case. Which is, if the shoe fits.
And I'll say that, you watch these shows, you read these cases. Yes, most serial killers have a victim type and a method of killing.
Right.
They part of their thing is the ritual.
Yeah.
That's part of their mental illness, their need to do what they're doing.
Right.
But not all of them.
Yeah, not all of them.
This guy could have just wanted to kill. It didn't matter who it was.
Right. So there were also allegations involving possibly a white supremacist group involved in some of the killings. However, investigators said they never found enough evidence to support the theory. But it is out there. There is a theory. In 2019, Atlanta officials officially reopened parts of the case for modern DNA testing. So again, a recent case.
Yeah. I can understand. The theory of the white supremacists we are talking about. Late 70s, early 80s in Georgia.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But, of course, we're in Atlanta, not rural Georgia. Doesn't make a difference, but I can understand how the theory boiled to that because not everybody believed that Wayne Williams killed all of them. You know what I'm saying?
So, in 2019, Atlanta officials officially opened, I already said that, which shows this story isn't fully settled. And we've got to remember this. There's 28 people. Those aren't statistics. Those are actually kids, people's kids, brothers. These
are families that are waiting for justice.
Waiting for justice. Decades later, people are still debating on what actually really happened, and that's crazy. That some cases like this go on for decades and decades, and the families are still waiting for answers, and they're not getting the answers that they deserve.
Yeah, well, this is 2 that we've covered today that you guys will see on different times, but that was back in the 70s when they started, and we're still, up until 2019, trying to figure out what's going on,
Right. So that's the crazy part about it is that stuff can it's not open and closed cases like everybody thinks it is. It's not what Law and Order SVU or whatever it is.
Yeah, Criminal Minds.
Minds. It's not like that. They gotta get. It takes years and years and years of investigation and work to actually get these cases solved, and sometimes they're just never solved. They're just cold cases.
Yeah, and this case has literally changed Atlanta.
Yeah.
It changed, like we said, they implemented curfews. Mm-hmm. Kids were afraid to walk alone, particularly in these poor neighborhoods. That'll change. Those are scars that'll stay there forever.
Yeah, 100%. So if there's another case you want us to follow, just drop it in the comments, message us, let us know, and we'll open up another cold case Friday and actually look into it. So with that being said, this is The Basement, where it's top level content from the lower level.
You guys take it easy.